Let's begin. Chest, chest, chest and chest, chest and chest. Chest, chest, chest and chest, chest and chest, and chest and chest, and chest and chest. Chest, chest and chest, chest and chest. I thought for a minute you were going to be a tough crowd. That, of course, not an original. That was a cover of... that was a cover of Head, Shoulders, Knees and Toes. It's sung by a T-Rex. It's only got little arms, hasn't it? We're off. Choo-choo! Tickets and passes, please. That was the first joke, and we might have time for one more. So we're halfway. So bring out the oranges. I've got the body of a supermodel in plastic bin bags in my freezer. But before the gig, I went for a meal out at a French restaurant in Warrington. It's a French restaurant in Warrington. None of this is true. And I poop you not, guys. I poop you not at this French restaurant. Not only did they have fish poison on the menu, they couldn't even spell poison right. Some idiots. So that joke does require a key stage 2 knowledge of French. But catch that fly. But if you've done the background reading, it's more than worth it. I bought some birdseed in 1995, but it still hasn't grown into a bird. If you hold a pasta shell next to your ear, you can hear a pan of boiling water. Nonsense. But, I'm looking out at about 150 people, and there are a lot of confused faces. But by no means all confused. Some people showing signs of anger. And abject hatred. But how to describe my act? If you can imagine a piece of paper with a Venn diagram on it, and there's one circle labelled music, and an overlapping circle labelled comedy, then my act is on another piece of paper. Going, I just want to be a triangle. When I was 6 or 7 years old, I had hiccups. So because he was a caring man, my father, he came up with a plan to cure my hiccups. My father's plan to cure my hiccups was to surprise me. He said, your sister's your real mum. Don't even have a sister. What does it mean? But I'm not just a comedian. Sorry, I'm not sure why I said just. I am not a comedian. I just came to fix the Wi-Fi and think you're out of hand. I am but a man. And I am Margarine Boy, and together we shall fight crime. Not today, Margarine Boy. Who writes this stuff? You do. It's a traitor. But I think whatever you do in life, it's just about having a positive mindset. So at the moment, the only thing holding you back is yourself. said the bungee jump instructor. Plus the harness, I laugh as I jump off the bridge, and he's like, I haven't attached that yet. But I'll tell you a little bit about myself. A lot of people come up to me after the gigs and say, Tom, are you from Wales? And I say, no, from humans. So, even though I don't find some of these funny. This fly spray is not working. I'm still having to walk everywhere. But I've never been in a gym, but I have wanked off a Kevin. Don't understand that one. Sometimes people laugh, but I'll never forget the advice. I'll never forget the advice my grandfather gave me, which was you can always tell a transvestite because they hang down from the ceiling, whereas transvestmites isn't a word. So unnecessarily wordy, you're right. So I actually got a 2-2 at university, but was asked to take it off because it wasn't appropriate clothing for a medical student. Yeah, just say medical student again. But I'll never forget. Am I here? But I'll never forget the advice my grandfather gave me, which was give a man a dog and he will be happy for a day. Teach a man to dog. And learn what those protective seat covers are really made for. There are thousands of signs in Braille all over the world, but not one for do not touch. I suppose all that's left to do now is just to observe a 1-minute silence for everybody I've lost during the course of my set. Thank you very much for coming out and being an audience. I get quite nervous doing comedy, so I'm always relieved when there is an audience, because if you weren't here being a crowd, I'd just be imagining myself naked. Bye!